Okay, so I promise I have calmed down an awful lot since the last video I just did of the terrorist attack that happened in Las Vegas with the Cybertruck I'll put in one of the corners. I had the giggles because the story is just so bizarre. The whole fireworks inside a tank, like nothing's gonna happen on the outside, it's gonna happen on the inside of the tank. And why would someone in the military, they would be smarter than that? And then I thought about it and I'm like, everyone's probably right. There's some probably MK Ultra going on.
Then they also did experimentations to using different chemicals to see if you can induce a person to commit a crime or induce him to do that or to do this. Of course, the CIA claimed that it didn't carry it through. The documentation we got was actually that they did that. Then we came across the overall project called MK Ultra. Its earlier code name was Artichoke, and that included 149 sub-projects. And those sub-projects range from what I just described to open-air testing in the United States, experimentation on prisoners, experimentation on soldiers, experimentation on college students.
Would these people know they were being experimented on and gave their approval?
No, except for the quote-unquote voluntary Army soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
And the way the voluntary Army program worked is it started in 1959, and the guys were just told that they would be doing experimentation on new weapons.
Because there might be ties between these two guys, that the guy in New Orleans and the guy in Vegas. And people are saying that there might also be ties between that one guy, Ryan something, the one that almost assassinated Trump. I don't know. I have my tinfoil hat on because things are getting bizarre for the first day of 2025. Hi guys, my name is Annette. If you're new here, please subscribe.
Do you want to read the email?
Yep. So this email came in on December 31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or on to the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes, he says drones, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have this capability. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive V-bid. Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive V-bid. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a V-bid was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice and he goes, you said that word V-bid. Can you tell me what that is? For your audience, a V-bid, for your audience who has not been in the GWOT for the last 20 years, a V-bid is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower.
My truck hits the corner and comes barreling through people, throwing people like a movie scene, like real life, throwing people into the air, they falling under the car, all that.
The dead Urban Street attack is our top story this morning. We know that 15 people are dead, 30 people are injured. President Biden addressed the nation about the horrific attack. Take a listen.
I'm not going to comment on any specific yet. I've contacted every agency in the federal government as well as the state. They're all coordinating to get to the bare facts.
Your reaction when you heard what happened?
Well, the reaction was one of anger and frustration. Thank you.
So we found out the man's name is Shamsud-din Jabbar, and he rented a car just like the other guy in Las Vegas from the same company, Turo. Now, there might be ties between the two men. They both went to the same military base. They both were in the military, so this might be connected.
Was in that vehicle, sort of vented out and up, but it didn't even damage the glass doors at the Trump. So I'm not sure what that means. I also know that there's a number of unexploded pieces of the things that he had inside of that vehicle, and so I just don't think that it was done as well as he was expecting it to be done. But go ahead.
Sofia Rodriguez with Univision Vegas. I was wondering, were you able to recover the video from the Cybertruck, or was that destructive?
So the question is, are we able to recover the video from the Cybertruck? And many of you may know that those Cybertrucks contain a tremendous number of cameras. Mr. Musk has sent out a number of his folks that will be arriving here this afternoon with the intent to try to capture the part of that captured all of the video from inside of the truck. Sir?
Just quickly, you had mentioned a number of the components in the back of the truck that did not go off. Maybe this is a better suited question for ATF, but when it comes to the rudimentary nature of the bomb, I think we mostly think of a bomb that is connected. This seems like individual kind of incendiary and combustible components put together. Can you speak to how you think this is a bomb, or was it just several pieces of things that might blow up and might explode that were just lit and gone off at the same time?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it does appear that it was, I just want to be careful with my language here, but the level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience. That most of the materials inside that Tesla were fuel to help fuel a greater explosion. But it's too early to answer any question is if there was sophisticated connectivity to those components to make it ignite in the way that it did.
Well, he decided he was going to plow down. So I took my last video down because it got age restricted. So I'm probably not going to explain what happened in these two horrible incidents that happened on the first of the year. So we all know what happened in New Orleans and Las Vegas. So I'm going to see how much I could keep in, but now I kind of just want to change the whole meaning of this video. It just seems like, I don't know, maybe everyone is MK Ultra. Even that one little dorky kid that tried to take out Trump earlier in 2024. Like, maybe everyone's connected, or maybe no one's connected. Or maybe this really shows how effed up our mental health here is in America, and the mental illness we have, and how everyone believes the media and the news and the government and all these celebrities. And it just shows that maybe we do have just brain rot because of all this agenda and pandering. The media needs to stop.
Would you start, please, with what you make of these two incidents occurring on the same day and the information Cody just gave us? Does it seem to you like there could be a connection?
Good morning, Julie. I will say this, that coincidences seldom exist in law enforcement. And I find it very interesting, not only the time frame that these two occurrences happened really just within hours of each other. Also, as was mentioned, their military service, the fact that they served at the same military base, the fact that they rented from Turo, which is a very obscure rental app, if you will. I use it all the time, but it's like the Airbnb. They have a very small fleet. I found that very interesting. So certainly these issues, as well as the IEDs that were used in each event, make them highly coincidental. So we'll find out more, but I'm steering toward that belief.
Sure.
On New Year's, like injuring 40 people, killing 15 as we know of right now, and that makes me so sad. And I know no matter whose life was taken, it's still sad. No one's life is more important than someone else's. But when you hear the people who passed, there was a young man who just graduated from university. I think he had a football scholarship. Of course he did. Of course he was like a good kid. And there was a beautiful young lady, and I think she graduated from high school, only 18 years old, and she snuck out of the house to go party on Bourbon Street for New Year's. I'm sure there was people there visiting out of town, and it was their first time. Oh my God, here I go. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, someone from out of town isn't more important than someone that lives there. I know people in the comments, people take everything wrong. It's the internet. Oh my goodness. What else did he do? He also had an ISIS flag on his truck that law enforcement tried to hide and cover up. Oh, just wait till I get into law enforcement. Shamsud-din also had a bunch of IEDs, which I guess are a bunch of homemade device. They were in the truck, and they were also placed around the street of Bourbon Street. They think that he had help, that people were working with him. They did question 3 men and 1 woman that they said that they saw touching the IEDs. I don't know. I'm not sure everything I say is alleged. They questioned these 4 people, but then they were released. So I don't know what's going on there. Also, he has a few ex-wives, and a lot of his friends and family and ex-wives, I think, allegedly said that as of late, he has become more radicalized.
I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch.
Like I said, Shamsud-din was in the military. He's a citizen of Texas. He's 42 years old. He's close to the same age as the same guy in Las Vegas. I think he's 37, that Matt guy.
The connection between Las Vegas, that's still up in the air in terms of an investigation. What do we know? Is there anything that is showing us a definitive link between these 2 acts?
Well, as you just said, definitely still up in the air. They are still going on in the investigation. No confirmed link at this time, but there are some coincidentals. Both suspects served in the military. Both suspects rented vehicles from the app Toro. Both suspects both attacks involved explosives that are believed to be remote triggered, as if, someone that doesn't have to be right where it is. They could click a button and the explosive would go off. Both suspects are relatively close in age. The one in Vegas, 37. The one here in New Orleans, 42. So again, up in the air, but definitely some coincidentals in both attacks.
Yeah. Is there any evidence, Cody, that they might have known each other?
It is cited by one of our affiliates that they did serve at the same military base.
Oh, wow.
So that's as much as we know right now.
When I said I had a bone to pick with law enforcement, I mean that FBI chick, Alethea Buchanan, or whatever her name is, the retarded FBI chick, she was the first one to do a video or a statement, and she said this is not a terrorist attack. So you're telling me that a guy named Shamsud-din Jabbar with an ISIS flag and IEDs in his truck is not a terrorist attack? Does the American people have to teach common sense to this girl?
This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found, and we are working on confirming if it's a viable device or not.
I'm sorry, this might be a controversial take, but I don't think anybody in the FBI should be a liberal. And unfortunately, they probably all are. It's like they're all so blinded by their ideology and like identity politics that only white people can be criminals. They can only be bad people. No one else of any other color, because, oh my God, we might be called racist. You are racist. Obviously, we don't know all the information yet. There's more coming out. This is a very sad time. We're all supposed to be celebrating, and it's just going to get more crazier in the next 18 days. But on a brighter note, Trump had a huge New Year's Eve party, and guess who showed up and performed? Why, the Village People, of course. I can't play the song for copyright reasons, but we all know what song it is. It's his theme song. It's just so crazy to me because till this day, liberals will still say that he's so homophobic, yet his theme song has always been the Village People. But liberals probably don't even know who the Village People are, because they have no ridges or bumps, valleys or lumps. If you guys like this one, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. I hope this year gets better. We got this one. I'll see you in the next one. Boy, 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 boy.
Ladies and gentlemen.